Good evening. Welcome to Election Night 2020. Today we have Bubble Buddy from the great state of Bikini Bottom versus Dirty Bubble, also from Bikini Bottom. It is now time for the 7 p.m. poll closings. Indiana's 11 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy by a very wide margin. Kentucky's 8 electoral votes will also go to Bubble Buddy. Virginia is currently too close to call, Bubble Buddy in the lead. South Carolina is also too close to call, Bubble Buddy trailing behind Dirty Bubble by 1 percentage point, but this is only in the non-coastal districts. Georgia's 16 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. As is Georgia, Vermont's 3 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy's column. And the current electoral map is on your screen now. 38 electoral votes for Bubble Buddy and 0 for Dirty Bubble. It is now time for the 7:30 p.m. poll closings. West Virginia's 5 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy tonight. Ohio is currently too close to call, Bubble Buddy in the lead. North Carolina is also too close to call, Bubble Buddy with a very slight lead. And the current electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 43 electoral votes to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now time for the 8 p.m. poll closings. Illinois' 20 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble is in the lead. North Dakota's 3 electoral votes will go to Bubble Buddy. As is North Dakota, South Dakota's 3 electoral votes will also end up in the Bubble Buddy column. Kansas's 6 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy, as is Oklahoma's 7 electoral votes. Texas is too close to call, 38 electoral votes at stake, the second biggest prize in the union, Bubble Buddy in the lead very narrowly. Michigan's 16 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble in the lead by 2%. Pennsylvania's 20 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. New Hampshire, typically a swing state, but due to its lack of coastline, will go to Bubble Buddy by a very wide margin. Maine, 3 out of its 4 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. Rhode Island's 4 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy with a very large lead, but this is only the non-coastal areas. Connecticut's 7 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy with the narrowest of leads. New Jersey's 14 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy in the lead. Delaware, 3 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy is trailing behind Dirty Bubble. Maryland's 10 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble is also in the lead here. The District of Columbia's 3 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy with a very large lead, but this is only the coastal areas. Alabama's 9 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. As is Alabama, Mississippi's 6 electoral votes are also projected to go to Bubble Buddy. Tennessee's 11 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy tonight, as is Missouri's 10 electoral votes. And Florida's 29 electoral votes are too close to call, as usual. In fact, the difference is not even 1 percentage point. And the electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 113 electoral votes to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now time for the 8:30 p.m. poll closings. Arkansas, we can project 6 electoral votes will end up in the Bubble Buddy column. And the electoral map's on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 119 votes to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now time for 9 p.m. poll closings. Arizona's 11 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy, as does Colorado with its 9 electoral votes. New Mexico's 5 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy, as is Wyoming's 3 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy tonight. Nebraska's 5 electoral votes. All 5 of them are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. Remember, Nebraska is one of 2 states that splits its electoral vote count by congressional district. Minnesota's 10 electoral votes. 10 electoral votes at stake, too close to call. Bubble Buddy in the lead. Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes are too close to call. Dirty Bubble with a very slight lead here. Louisiana's 8 electoral votes are too close to call. Dirty Bubble is in the lead with a very wide lead, but this is only the non-coastal areas. New York's 29 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy. And the final electoral vote map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 193 to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now time for the 10 p.m. poll closings. Nevada's 6 electoral votes will go to Bubble Buddy, as does Utah's 6 electoral votes. Iowa's 6 electoral votes will wind up in the Bubble Buddy column tonight, as does Montana with its 3 electoral votes. And the final electoral map is on your screen here. Bubble Buddy's 214 to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and the polls have closed in 5 new states. California is too close to call, with Bubble Buddy with a very minor lead. Oregon's 7 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble leading very slightly. Washington's 12 electoral votes are too close to call, Bubble Buddy with a very slight lead, not even 1/10 of a percentage point. Hawaii's 4 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble with a 6% lead, but we still have some non-coastal areas whose results have not come in yet. Idaho's 4 electoral votes will easily go to Bubble Buddy. The final electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 218 to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now 1 a.m. and the polls have closed in Alaska. Alaska's 3 electoral votes are too close to call, Dirty Bubble with a very large lead. However, this is only in some coastal areas. And the electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 218 electoral votes to Dirty Bubble's 0. It is now 1:37 a.m. and we can make calls from 3 states. Florida, with its 29 electoral votes, will be won by Dirty Bubble tonight. A huge win for his campaign by roughly 5 percentage points. And Illinois' 20 electoral votes is now projected to go to Dirty Bubble by a very narrow margin of less than 1 percentage point. And Ohio is now projected to go to Bubble Buddy by a margin of around 4%. The electoral map is on your screen now. 236 for Bubble Buddy to 49 for Dirty Bubble. It is now 2 a.m. and we can make calls from 3 states, well, 2 states and 1 congressional district. Delaware's 3 electoral votes will be won by Dirty Bubble by a very narrow margin of around 2%. Rhode Island's 4 electoral votes will also go to Dirty Bubble with around a 3% margin. And Maine's 1st congressional district is projected to go to Dirty Bubble by a margin of around 18%. Normally, the swing district in Maine is the 2nd district, but in this case, it is the 1st district, while the rest of Maine is solidly blue. This is because the 1st district is on the coast. And the electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 236 to fit Dirty Bubble's 57. It is now 2:15 a.m., and we can make calls from 4 new states. California's 55 electoral votes will go to Dirty Bubble by a margin of around 0.5 percentage points. Hawaii's 4 electoral votes will go to Dirty Bubble with a margin of around 20%, his biggest victory so far. Louisiana's 8 electoral votes will go to Dirty Bubble by a margin of around 7%. And Minnesota's 10 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy by a very slim margin of around 0.3 percentage points. The electoral map is on your screen now. 246 electoral votes for Bubble Buddy and 124 for Dirty Bubble. It is now 2:51 a.m., and we can now make calls from 2 new states. North Carolina's 15 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy, as does Virginia's 13 electoral votes, which means we can now project the presidency of the United States will be won by Bubble Buddy. Dirty Bubble will come up as a loser in this election, and Bubble Buddy will become the 46th president of the United States. The electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 274 to Dirty Bubble's 124. It is now 3:20 a.m. and we can make calls from 4 states. Alaska's 3 electoral votes will go to Dirty Bubble by a margin of around 5%. Wisconsin's 10 electoral votes will be won by Bubble Buddy with a margin of less than 1/2 of a percentage point. Michigan's 16 electoral votes will go to Bubble Buddy by a margin of around 1%. And New Jersey's 14 electoral votes will go to Bubble Buddy by a margin of around 3%. The electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 314 to Dirty Bubble's 127. It is now 4:20 a.m. and we can make calls from 5 new states. Washington's 12 electoral votes are projected to go to Bubble Buddy, as does Oregon's 7 electoral votes. Massachusetts' 11 electoral votes were projected to go to Bubble Buddy. Connecticut's 7 electoral votes we can project will go to Bubble Buddy. And finally, the District of Columbia's 3 electoral votes will end up in the Bubble Buddy column tonight. The electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 354 to Dirty Bubble's 127. It is now November 10th, 1 week after the election, and we can make calls from the remaining 3 states. Maryland's 10 electoral votes is projected to go to Bubble Buddy by a margin of around 2%. South Carolina's 9 electoral votes are now projected to go to Bubble Buddy by a margin of around 1%. And Texas, the second biggest prize in the Union, 38 electoral votes winds up in the Bubble Buddy column, with a margin of less than 1/2 of a percentage point. And the final electoral map is on your screen now. Bubble Buddy's 411 electoral votes to Dirty Bubble's 127. Thanks for watching, everyone. I plan to do more videos like this, as in like fictional election matchups, provided that the reception is good enough. And in case you're wondering the reasoning behind the calls, typically any state with not a lot of water in its state would be a safe blue state, safe for Bubble Buddy, because Bubble Buddy's main scandal in this case is that he let a man drown and didn't do anything about it. So that really hurt him in all the coastal regions, like especially Florida, which has the longest coastline of all the states in the Union, and also even in my home state of Illinois, where all the Chicagoans are on the coast. But otherwise, besides the coastal scandal, this is pretty much not much of a matchup. I mean, not much of a contest, because Dirty Bubble's the villain. People clearly would vote him out. Would vote against him, unless Bubble Buddy wasn't much better. Which in this case, I guess to a lot of people on the coast who would be directly affected by his actions, that's actually what happened. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and whether I should do more like this. And I'll see you in the next video.